on.
Oh, yay.
So tonight we have Annette Ross, and she's the lady that does the Christmas festivals here, and she's going to tell you all about it. So
Okay, we got the program. It's right here. Okay, this says the 40th Annual Holiday Christmas Festival. Bring the entire family, free parade, free concerts, free hot dogs for kids under 12, and free photos with Santa. Okay, this is just our shtick, okay? And we do this every year because that's what we do, all right? First of all, I'll go in, let's free parade. Of course, everything's not free, but the parade is free. But the concerts are really spectacular. We have over 30 concerts throughout the weekend that are positively free, and everyone's welcome to attend. Free hot dogs for kids under 12. Every year, since I started being the director of the Christmas Festival, about 18 years ago, actually, the first year I did this, I realized that there wasn't a lot of there's no place for people to eat, for one thing, except the local restaurants, which we want. But for the town is a Catholic town, and we need to have things for people who have multiple children in their family or combined families, as a matter of fact. So I asked the Lions if they could serve hot dogs. Back then it was for $1. I think they're a little bit more now, but not much, maybe $2. But in the interim, I called them up and asked them if they could do that. And they said, oh, they'd love to do it and they'd love to help out. Well, the first year we did this, a gentleman went up to a contemporary of mine at the Lions Club and told him that it was the most incredible thing because he had 7 children. He couldn't afford to bring his children to a parade. And what they'd done is so magnificent. Well, the Lions got together and decided that they would, from then on, which was about 17 years ago, they were going to offer free hot dogs, a bag of chips, and a bottle of water for every child 12 and under, as long as they're accompanied by an adult. And that is their contribution to our small society. I want to always praise them for that.
And that's so wonderful.
It really is. Nobody does that. Nobody. And they take a red line on that. And that's their community service, the major community service for that year, every year. So they need a huge pat on the back for this. We have free photos with Santa. They offer free photos with Santa. Vernon Fleeg will be performing there. He's a local artist. He does traditional country and Christmas tunes. And that's a very, very much of a family type setting. And it gets very crowded very quick. And that event goes on from 12 to 2 after the parade. Again, this is the program. Okay. Parade, okay, also 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock on Saturday at the St. Genevieve Catholic Church. They will have an art festival, a craft show. They've done this. The first year I attended that, I guess it was during the COVID, because my schedule gets so intense, it's very difficult for me to attend these events. But that year is pretty sparse, believe me. So I went and I thought, this is just magnificent. It's so charming. And I've really tried to work away. I had to rework the schedule, on the program. This is the inside of the program, highly compact and really dense, to make sure they go on there, because most of the items in there, I can't say everything, but at least 80% are handmade, and it is just really special. You can find something in a stocking stuffer situation for someone in your family or a friend, and they're very, very affordable, and it's very much worth your while just to go in there for 15 to 30 minutes and enjoy yourself, because it's really, really special. I give it a high A+, outstanding. At 11 o'clock, okay. Oh, also from 9 to 12, unfortunately, there's no parking in the Valley Desert because we have to line up the parade. The gentleman that work with me on the parade situation, I have no women on that particular crew, but I have a lot of women in other situations, okay? But they will get there at 6:30 in the morning to start lining up the parade. And last year, they've already had to start working around the new playground at Valley, So there cannot be any parking in the desert from 9 till noon until the parade is completely over. But other than that, you're always welcome, okay? 11 o'clock, the parade starts. We'll have over 130 entries. We're now getting quite renowned for both our classic cars and, believe it or not, our Corvettes. The Corvette Club literally contacts me every year now because they have told me it's the best parade they've ever been in the entire southeast Missouri. And so they make
That's
a huge...
wonderful.
Oh, it's great. I know. And so I love the classic cars. And classic cars are magnificent. You can see all types of eras, but the Corvettes, I put them in a class of their own. I don't put them with the classic cars because when the Stingray was invented, it was like a world phenomenon. And I felt like it needed to have a different kind of respect. And they drive in all from Cape Girardeau and St. Louis, and our local Corvette owners will be in the parade also. And they make a great show. We have, of course, the the St. Genevieve High School Band will be there. And they're actually phenomenal. I think they're quite good. The German band, they're there every year. Most charming band. I mean, they're just so endearing. Other bands will be in there, other musicians. We have floats, beautiful floats. Everyone decorates their floats. They're so excited about the parade. We have usually every year a minimum of over 130 entries. About the parade, it has the same route that it's had every year. We've made one alteration, but other than that, the exact same route, okay? The one alteration is, every year we leave Valley Desert, we turn left on Merchant, right on 3rd, left on Market, left on Main, left on Washington. In the past, we've always turned left on 2nd and right on Merchant. It simply doesn't work anymore. When you have over 130 entries in the parade in our little wonderful but tiny historic district, but very wonderful, and we don't want to leave that district at all. I've moved the left. We turn left on Washington. Instead of going left on 2nd Street and right on Merchant, we're going to turn left on 3rd Street, right on Jefferson, and then back to the Valley Desert. And it's going to be a lot more efficient. So instead of, if you're going to be hanging out on 2nd Street, move it to 3rd, and then turn right on Jefferson, okay? And then back to the desert. And you'll be a lot more pleased. It's going to have a real smooth flow, and we're still going to have our historic, wonderful downtown feeling. Again, I've already gone through the 12 o'clock show. A 12 to 2, Diane Wilson. She is a local artist and a member of the Art Guild and has been, as long as I've known her, for 19 years, and quite an excellent artist, donates her time and her supplies, and every year goes to the Oris from 12 to 2 and does crafts for children. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing for the children to do, along with going to the Lions Park at 1 o'clock and then again at 2 o'clock. Bruce Dyvik will be performing his magician acts. He is a renowned magician in St. Louis, and now this is his 4th year of being here. And he contacts me in the summer to let me know he has really upped his game. You know, he's got all new tricks, all new acts. And it was so popular the first year, instead of doing one show, we now do 2. And that is not just wonderful for children, but for everyone. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, cousins, and friends. And it's really great. And that is at the historic museum, the museum here in town. The Museum of Learning and
Learning Museum.
The Learning Museum. Okay,
The dinosaur.
She calls it the Dinosaur Museum.
The dinosaur,
Okay,
yeah.
but and it's right in our historic district again. Okay, then again at I'm going to have to look at my glasses here. Starting at 12 to 3, one of our local musicians, Chad Stevens, Chad Stevens Stafford. Okay, he plays acoustic guitar and mandolin. He will perform in front of the Oris from 12 to 3. So immediately after the parade, you know, if you're not going to the Lions Park, listen to Vernon Fleet perform, which he is really good. He does traditional country. And then have your children or your grandchildren, your niece and nephews there, whatever, go on to the Auras and have something to eat. And you'll have Stephen Stafford performing outside for 12 to 3, actually. But we have also other very many wonderful places to eat, all in the downtown district. Many places. The Rooted Coffee, of course, that's on Main Street. Stella and Me, so many. The Old Brick, the Anvil, just so many restaurants all along Merchant Street, Main Street, and 3rd Street. We're just filled with wonderful, wonderful restaurants in our town. So there's plenty of places to eat along with the Lions Park.
And also we have Danny's Tavern, which
Danny's Tavern,
has
yes.
just opened not too
Yeah,
long
yeah.
ago,
Danny's
this
Tavern,
year.
that's also on the 3rd and the corner of 3rd and Merchant. And they have the best hamburgers. I mean, they really do have good
Really
hamburgers.
good, yeah.
I think so. It's a
And
fun.
then is Common Grounds going to be open
Common
also?
Grounds, yes, that's it. Common Grounds is right across the street from Danny's Tavern. So there's Danny's Tavern, Common Grounds, the Old Brick, Stella and Me, Oliver's, the Audubon's. We have a lot of restaurants in our historic district, so you're going to find something to eat downtown.
And the food is delicious everywhere.
Oh, very, very good. Very, very much so. Okay, and the interim we have. Thank you so much, Iris. Okay, right. Starting at 1:00, I've already told you about the renowned magician. Bruce Dyvik. We'll have at the Southeast Chamber Choir. They've come back every year now for many years. They will be performing at the St. Genevieve Catholic Church at 1:00 to 1. 2 concerts, one at 1, one at 2. And they're each 45 minutes long. They do Renaissance periods up to contemporary holiday pieces. And that's really wonderful. The Southern Illinois String Quartet performed by accredited directors, symphony performers, and directed by Rosanna Cotti, who is head of the symphony orchestra down at SIU Carbondale, will be performing at the Holy Cross Lutheran Church. And that is really, really popular. They will be featuring Baroque, classical, and Romantic period Austro-German music. The Isaac LaSalle Trio, her husband, he is head of the classical guitar division down at SIU Carbondale and their jazz studies program. Both of them perform internationally throughout the world. He will be performing modern jazz with standards in Latin music, featuring himself, Professor Jimmy Beers, and Dr. Richard Kelly at the First Presbyterian Church on 160 South Main Street. Again, free French cafe music, jazz, soul, blues, and Christmas tunes performed by Adele Martin and Bluesette, and that's at Music Art Love. Okay, and that is on 137 North Main Street. She is incredibly popular. She actually contacted me several years ago. And she'd heard about this event and really wanted to be a part of it. She thought she could offer something. And I have to say she does. She has a very, she's actually from Belgium, but she sings with a very, strangely, a very European accent, I'll call it. But she captures the French ambiance quite well, and I give her an absolute A+. She's very wonderful, has a huge following, and it's worth her while to go at Music Art Love. And again, 2 concerts, 1 and 2 o'clock on Saturday at Music Art Love. Okay, we have Dr. Shaw's house on Merchant and 2nd Street. We learn the art of paper filigree with Lisa Palmer, with her Never Bored Creations. Create your own craft. That is so popular that instead of doing just one little 45-minute class, they are keeping it open for 2 hours. So it's worth your while to go in there because it's a very old type of filigree. It's something that would have been done over 200 years ago and very appropriate for our historic Spanish, French, and German culture. Okay, French first. Okay, but it's very historic. 2:00 to 2:45. Certain concerts were repeated. The Chamber Choir String Quartet, Isaac LaSalle, and Adele Martin, and Magician Bruce. Okay, this is all on our program. Okay, at 2 to 4, Dance Discovery, a St. Louis dance troupe, performs historical dances from the 1600s to present at the Felix Valley Historic Site, 198 Merchant Street. It ends at 4:00. It's very, very, very professional, worth your while to stop by. 3 to 4, again on Saturday, we have one concert. Actually, it's 3 to 4. Matt Palish, professor of pipe organ music at SEMO State University, Southeastern Missouri State University, which he performs 19th and 20th century classical and Christmas tunes. He is very, very popular. Years ago, I had gone, it was years now, it seems like yesterday, but it goes by quick. But you understand,
sure.
I know. But
Turn around and another year is
turn
gone.
around, you know that song. Yeah, I know. So in the interim, my family and I have a small family as far as my immediate family, my husband, myself, and my daughter. We were in Florence, Italy, and it was like midnight. We were walking through the streets, and I kept hearing this beautiful organ music. And we walked down this really tiny side street, and this Catholic church was having an organ concert. So we decided to go as a family because we were just out walking around. The city looks like a kaleidoscope. It's literally, physically, one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen. And we walked in, and literally the church was filled, and it got multiple standing ovations. And I thought, this is magnificent. So I came back. So this is a long time ago now, but it seems like yesterday. We already discussed that. Okay. So, but Al Kaiser, who was director of music at the time for the St. Genevieve Catholic Church, I asked him to start performing organ concerts, and he did a spectacular job. And when he retired, I contacted Matt Palish down at SEMO, and he does a spectacular job. And it's a really huge turnout. So I highly recommend you go. It'll be a very European feeling. You'll feel like you're in Italy, that's why I created that for our program, because I thought it created a feeling of the old world, and that's what I thought was important. Okay, we have, okay, now we're getting to 3 o'clock. 3 to 5, we have, okay, Matt Palish, I already explained to him. Stormy Bennett and his son Eric. Stormy is a local gentleman. I can't call him just a gentleman. I think he's a retired police chief in DeSoto, Missouri. Eric Bennett used to be police chief here in St. Genevieve. And they are a father-son duo performing thumb rhythm and especially thumb rhythm melodies on the guitars, acoustic guitars. They'll be at the Oris on Merchant Street, and that's 3 to 5. They have a pretty huge following. The same people go every year. The Oris is pretty much packed, and these people love these two gentlemen. And it's really, if you're really into acoustic guitar, thumb rhythm, kind of a Chet Atkins feel, it's for you. Gary Huggins, we are so lucky to have him. He's from Bakersfield, California, was quite a proficient musician out there in Los Angeles County. He will be doing contemporary smooth jazz at the Welcome Center. He has 2 concerts, 3 and 4. He kind of performs kind of like Stormy and Eric straight through because he has a following, and they just sit there and listen to him the whole time, but you can just walk on in. And you're going to love this guy. He sounds like Kenny G. I can't even describe how magnificent he is. 4 to 6, we have several receptions going on. Guyborg House reception that will feature, of course, elegant hors d'oeuvres. They're beautiful Christmas decorations. and Baroque period violin and viola performance by Rosanna Cotti. As I explained to you, she's head of the symphony down at SIU Carbondale, and an international musician. At 4 o'clock also at the St. Genevieve Art Guild and reception, Renaissance period solo lute performance by Dr. Isaac LaSalle. And Dr. LaSalle performed with the Art Guild last year. What did you think?
I thought he was wonderful. Yes.
It's magnificent. It goes
sure.
It goes with the art and the ambiance, everything.
Exactly.
Yes. It does. Iris Vincent, not Iris, Juanita Wab Ryman has talked about the Art Guild for the Christmas Festival in a different production. And it's going to be really magnificent also because we have some wonderful, wonderful local artists in our region that are contributing to our local art community. And we're very, very fortunate to have them. So that is a must. We all must go and see what is happening in our local art community. At 4 o'clock to 6 also at Music, Art, Love. Academy Hill, where we'll be performing. They do alternative country music. It's Rosie and Sam Huey, husband and wife, Sam's cousin. They are pretty spectacular. And they have a following also, and people will go every year. And sometimes people will come from out of town because they just love them so much and the sound they create together with their mandolins or their fiddles and their basses and Rosie playing the guitar and singing. They're really, really very, very, very special. And 5 o'clock, 5 to 7, the La Ravillon, a French Christmas at Felix Valley State Historic Site. We'll be celebrating customs and decorations from the 1800s Christmas Eve. And they'll give you period desserts. Now that ends at 7. They'll be dressed in period costumes in the costumes of a Christmas Eve in the early 1800s. Now to combine with that, one of the new things on our program this year, I have to go back to the same day, but an earlier time, 12 o'clock. The Linden Living House will be doing a French colonial Christmas. It's strictly French colonial, and they're both French. One is a Christmas Eve, strictly Christmas Eve. It shows the 12 days of Christmas. They go through all the period foods. They give you period foods to taste, etc. And it's very, very, very special. The French colonial living at the Linden Living House, you're going to meet actual historic characters from French and Creole holiday traditions in St. Genevieve. They'll be dressed in period costumes, and what they'll be doing, it's totally different. It looks similar, but I have to tie it together because it's very indicative and very important to our culture. They'll be playing holiday Christmas games, and you'll have their period little treats that they have also. And that ends at 5. That's 12 to 5, so then 5 to 7. If you're really, really wanting strictly to come here for the French colonial customs and stuff, then you can go on up to the La Ravillon. Or you can stay there for a couple of hours and go down for the period dances. At 6 o'clock. Okay, we're getting really good. Now we have the community tree lighting ceremony at the Welcome Center featuring Santa and Mrs. Claus and a performance by the St. Genevieve High School Madrigal Choir and hosted by Gary Shield. Gary Shield will be dressed in period costume. The Madrigals will be singing not just contemporary Christmas tunes, but they will sing some French tunes, Spanish tunes, German tunes. It's a really special event. Michelle Jokers does a really phenomenal job with them. And we've, for the last, I don't know how many years, we have a huge turnout for that. And it's really worth your while to go because it's like being out of a Hallmark Christmas show. It's very, very, very special. The at 6 o'clock afterwards, you just head on down to see the live nativity at the First Presbyterian Church, just down the street. And Christmas carols will be sung outside. You'll really enjoy that. It's a closing to this magnificent event for that evening. They have some really profound musicians that perform there also, and they blend beautifully. I mean, it kind of has a nice feeling to go with the madrigal singers, and I think you're really, really, really going to enjoy it. Afterwards, everything up to what I've said so far is free. But not free is at Audubon's Lynn, Jack, and Jen. Lynn Rose Terry and Jack Ketting and their friend Jen will be performing pop standards and Broadway tunes from the 30s up to the 1970s at the Audubon's Grill and Bar. It starts at 6, ends at 9, but that's like for a dinner, kind of a dinner environment, having dinner, listening to these wonderful musicians perform. It's all about Christmas and stuff from the 30s up to the 70s. It's going to be really fun. Sunday, again, starting at 12:30 to 2:15, Rosanna Cotti, again, she'll be back. And we really have to pay respects to these people to come to our pristine, but very small town, but very, very pristine. She'll be performing Impressionist music at the Welcome Center from 12:30 to 2:15. She has 2 different concerts going, but you can go in any time. At the same time, her husband, Isaac LaSalle, Dr. Isaac LaSalle, will be performing at the Lutheran Church on Market Street, and he'll be doing 500 years of French, Italian, Spanish, and American music. He is quite beloved in our town at this point, and his wife will be also. She's quite brilliant and quite gifted also, and I'm so grateful to have all of the musicians, including the local musicians that we have in our town and the local artist. The 2 o'clock to 2:30. Okay, now we get to the steel drum band. Okay. That's going to be at Dubourg Center. It's going to be it's actually 1:30 right here. 1:30 to 2:15, and again, 2:30 to 3:15. They have become quite popular. Every year I have to increase the seating at Dubourg Center because every show is packed. And we have over a couple of hundred chairs in there this year, and it will be packed, and there might be standing room only. So if you want to see that show, get there on time and get a seat. It's going to be really spectacular. Afterwards, just feel free to walk on over to the St. Genevieve Catholic Church. I've explained to you right here, we had Chatty Freewold. I have to pay my respects to her, first of all. She was our harpist for the last several years. She was head of the harp division down at SEMO, but she has fallen ill, and she won't be able to perform this year. However, I have talked to another friend of mine who is a harpist, and we will be having the Stanford Recorder Concert group performing. It will be Stanhope, my apologies, the Stanhope Recorder Consort group performing. What a recorder is, it's a flute-like instrument, and it's from the Renaissance period. And during Renaissance times, any castle that you went to, any aristocratic home that you would go to, any Catholic church that you would go to, they would be playing these recorders and Renaissance music, and went up to the Baroque period. So they will be performing at the Catholic Church from 3 to 4. I've listened to them. I didn't think, I was going to hire another harpist, but I called her up and she wanted me to listen to her group. And I listened to them. She sent me the video of it, and then I compared it to very renowned recorder groups, and I thought they were as good, and they are going to be absolutely divine and magnificent. It's going to be exactly correct for the acoustics in the Catholic Church, and you are all going to love them. So that's what I have to say about that. She said, now she personally can't come to this particular one because she had a prior engagement, but she said, if you want us back next year, let us know right away so I can work my schedule. So don't worry, you're hired back every year. So
So there you are.
there you are. So anyway, because you're going to love this group. In the interim, well, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, most importantly, because we have every year, we end the St. Genevieve Holiday Christmas Festival with our magnificent municipal band, directed by John Mooney, who's also the director of the St. Genevieve High School Band, who's won many awards. And I think he's so such
They
a
are wonderful.
wonderful, and he is an asset to our community because I think our municipal band is wonderful. It is as good as any big city municipal band in like suburban areas like Kirkwood or any place in St. Louis or Chicago. And I think we were very, very lucky to have this gentleman and our local musicians and our community choir
Terrible. Yeah.
who perform with him. And I guess they bring in the choir from high school,
Yes.
the chorus from high school.
Yes, and those kids are
Wonderful. And
Yeah.
so that is the most wonderful way to close that particular weekend. On the Saturday and Sunday, the Historic Art Museum, the St. Genevieve Art Guild Christmas Show will open at the Historic Museum building. My apology. And it's going to be open 10 to 6 on Saturday and 11 to 3 on Sunday. And as I've explained, Juanita has gone into the show, what's going on this year. It's going to be really spectacular. So you can find something or someone special there. So you really need to check it out. And that someone special is going to get something very, very special. Other than that, we need to view again back this year the historic hand-tooled Christmas scenes from around the world, retrieved from downtown St. Louis 1930s department store windows, that will be on display at DuBourg Center facing 3rd Street. And so that will go out probably right after Thanksgiving, right before the event, and it will be there throughout a couple of weeks. So you've got to see that because it's so magnificent. It's like back as a young person, it would be a big deal to go to Chicago and look at the windows at Marshall Fields in Chicago, or go downtown St. Louis to look at Stixbury and Fuller or Famous Bar.
Right,
And that's what it's like. It's very, very special. So again, our town is so lucky to have this.
We are, definitely.
So with that, I have to close, and Merry Christmas to all, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Annette. You always have everything down pat when you come, so you're welcome every year.
And
Yeah.
and I always love being welcome because I like you so much.
Well, thank you.
I always liked you ever since I still have one of your paintings. So I did.
Yay.
So I put it up every Christmas.
That's great.
I do. It's a Christmas tree.
And the Art Guild Christmas, excuse me, the Art Guild Christmas show is something special because we have the whole building is full of art. I mean, when you walk in, you are going to be so amazed at all the talent that is in our region, actually. We span from up by Imperial all the way down to Cape Girardeau. So we have a lot of artists.
Yeah, as I explained to you, definitely you've got to go to the Art Guild show. It's going on 2 days. The reception is from 4 to 6 on Saturday. But the show goes on for 2 days, and you will find something special there every year. If it's not like a greeting cards or a Christmas ornament or something stationary, those are the small things. Of course, there's paintings too, and that's a bigger item.
Right.
But they have little vases and bric-a-brac, that are handmade and hand-tooled. It's very much worth your while to go to see our local craftsman or an artist. And experience their work.
Right. And I might add, this is the first weekend We will be open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday every week up until January with the Christmas show up. So you have a lot of opportunities, birthdays, Christmas, even Thanksgiving gifts if you want them. We will be open this coming weekend and then every weekend up until January. We'll change out the show in January and go back to our gallery style hanging. But otherwise, the place is filled with art. And there are a lot of art places in St. John. We have Silver Sycamore, Music Art Love, Eclectic. Sam has two places down on Main
Yes,
Street that has a lot of handmade art. She is a wonderful artist herself. She does art out of tin cans and makes jewelry, and so art is very, very alive in St. Genevieve. So everybody come on downtown in St. Gen and do your Christmas shopping. And
Thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Merry Christmas and good night.